Let's freaking celebrate. They didn't score 100. They did not score 100. They didn't score 100. And lads, 3. I am on a 3-game correct prediction streak, lads. I am on a 3-game correct streak. I have predicted more games right in the last 3 than I have the rest of the season combined. I am on a 3-game prediction streak because nobody was going to be dumb enough to predict the Fever to win today. Even though they're there on commentary before the game. Even though on commentary before the game, they're saying it doesn't matter whether or not Caitlin Clark plays. The Fever are going to be the same level team. It doesn't matter whether Caitlin plays. It clearly matters whether Caitlin plays. It was a blowout the last time the Fever played the Liberty. The Liberty could have won this game by 50 points. The Liberty could have won this game by 50. The difference is that in the Fever's defense, they did not give up. Like, they at least, when the Liberty took their foot off the gas, the Fever did not give up. Like, the Fever got destroyed. They were clearly the worst team. I didn't think they were going to win this game anyway on a back-to-back. There's a lot of things. I think even with Caitlin Clark playing, I think this would have been a tough one on a back-to-back. But it wouldn't have been this bad. Like, this is a 21-point game. This is a 21-point game that could have been 45. It could have been 45. And if you guys agree, subscribe. We are trying to hit 55k by All-Star Saturday night. But this game could have been a hell of a lot worse. It genuinely could have been a hell of a lot worse. And you know what? At least we're not the Wings. Because even with Paige Bueckers, she's out here shooting tour dates and they're getting destroyed by the Aces. At least we're not the Wings. So we can hate watching peace. At least we can hate watching peace. But yeah, it was a tough one. Like, Breanna again did not shoot the greatest. She was on fire early in the game. Stewie was on triple-double watch. Phoebish is just really freaking good at basketball. Natasha Cloud was scoring. Maureen Johannes was 4 of 5 from 3. Rebecca Gardner came in, hit shots. Izzy Harrison was even scoring on us. Everyone. This team, when they get going, they're tough to stop. And, like, unless you go and are aggressive against them, like, if you are aggressive against them, then like, if you're aggressive against this team, then John Quell not being there matters. If you're not aggressive against them, then it doesn't matter whether John Quell's there or not. They're going to run you over. They're going to run you over. Aaliyah, 1 of 8 from the field, one of her worst games of the season. It's clear that the main player that suffers when Caitlin's not there is Aaliyah Boston. Like, Aaliyah Boston suffers so much when Caitlin Clark is not there. Damiris Dantas, again, she was just chucking. Michaela Timpson was the one bright spot. Like, Timpson really was the one bright spot. And they didn't play her. Like, Michaela Timpson was on the floor and they were down 20. So they were down 27 and she plays 3 minutes. They go on a 9-0 run. And she was genuinely a big reason. They subbed her right off and they sub her back in. They start kind of, going well. Michaela Timpson is going to be a player. She is going to be a player. Sid Colson, like, she's just not very good at basketball. Like, I'm sorry, Sid Colson is just not very good at basketball. Natasha Howard just kept missing open layups. I don't know what happened. I don't actually know what happened. Like, Natasha Howard literally could not make open layups today. I don't know why she only played 16 minutes. I understand things weren't going well, but, like, she was no worse than Aaliyah. I thought Sophie was pretty good. She hit shots, especially early on in the game when nobody was hitting shots. She hit a couple of big shots. Kelsey, look, Kelsey's always going to struggle in this game. Why is she going to struggle? I know she had 16, but it was just the impact, because when the Liberty feel like it, she went 3 of 3 in the game, and then she ended up going 4 for, I think she was like 4 for 10 and made her last shot. She went 1 for her last 7, for her next 7 shots of a starting 3 for 3. A big reason why she goes 1 of her next 7. They put, we need some nickname for Leo Fevish, because she literally, if a player on the other team is starting to cook, they just put Fevish on her, and she just doesn't score. It happened in the playoffs. It was like Kelsey Plum is cooking them from the Liberty or from the Aces. Yeah, she's going to guard Kelsey Plum. Then AJ gets a few buckets. She goes and guards AJ. Like, there needs to be some nickname for what happens. Like, almost like, obviously they have the Eldorcher chamber. Like, we have to, in the Leonie's den, I don't know. Instead of the Lion's den, I don't know. But, like, they just couldn't score. Aaliyah Boston, they just doubled and tripled down on every single one of her drives. And, like, it's hard. If you are Aaliyah Boston, it's really, really hard. Because she got blocked a couple of times. She couldn't get her run in. They were doubling down, and they were almost daring Aaliyah to make the pass out, and they were collapsing inside. But, like, I thought Lexi was okay when she was on. Didn't think she played bad. I thought Ari McDonald, her insanity runs over. She hit 2 threes in a row and 2 back-to-back possessions. But other than that, in fairness, she could have had 8 assists if it wasn't for Natasha Howard missing open layups. Like, it is a crazy thing. And look, I don't think this was really a game that like the Fever were going to win no matter how well they played. I think the Indiana Fever would have really, really had to have played out of their minds to win this game. And they would have had to shoot out of their minds to win this game. And they didn't. They played... Look, considering it's on a back-to-back and they're missing Caitlin, they tried. When the New York Liberty were actually going, the New York Liberty could have won by 50. But when the New York Liberty took their foot off the gas, in fairness, unlike some teams like the Sky and the Sun that I've seen against the Liberty, where even when the Liberty take their foot off the gas, they're still struggling. At least when the Liberty took their foot off the gas, the Fever really tried to pull it back. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. Not a good game, and absolutely, positively destroyed by a New York Liberty team who are just better. Who are legitimately just better. And that's all I can say. They are a legitimately just better team than the Indiana Fever. Especially without Caitlin Clark, that is. And look, they could have won this by 50 if they wanted to.